We go back to Netflix and Friends and we go to a film called Do Revenge. I saw Do Revenge, and this is a film that is set, it is, first and foremost, it's a teen movie. But it's a teen movie that knows it's a teen movie. So it's set in a high school. And the whole idea is that at the beginning you meet this girl and she is in the high school, but she's in like a very, it's pretty much like a private school. So think of like an American private school, an American version of Eton, but it's co-ed, so there's men and women in there. She's going out with the most popular guy in the school, but everybody else in the school is rich. She got a scholarship, so she came from more, shall we say, humble means. But she's managed to get to the point where she's almost like valedictorian. There's a piece being done on her in some newspaper article and all that, and but her boyfriend at the time convinces her to send him a video, and then she sends him this video, and then this video goes viral across the whole school. Everybody sees this video. It's of an intimate nature, and that sort of brings, so she punches him. It brings him down a peg, and she's kind of like on her last, like, if you do anything else, we're going to have to kick you out of the school. And this school is her path out of poverty, out of what her and her mom, because obviously in this sort of films, there's always just a single parent, and it's always the mom. So like, the it's her path out of it, because she goes, from here I'm going to go to Stanford, and from there rest of my life is, that's where I make it for the rest of my life. And so she goes away for the summer, comes back after the summer, and everybody is like looking at her like, oh, her fall from grace, she was the queen bee of the school and now she isn't there. And she meets another student who has transferred, and they end up doing this sort of strangers on the train kind of thing, where the student who has transferred to the school has a vendetta against somebody else in the school. And she's like, look, I can't do anything against the guy that wronged me, but I can take your revenge for you. You can take my revenge for me. So, that's where the title of the film comes from. Do Revenge. So let's do each other's revenge. And this film is, it's very easy to compare it to some of the classic teen films like Heathers, especially like Mean Girls. Like, they're going to an American high school and just sort of dissect the American high school. There's even a scene in this where they talk about the fact that they talk about the fact that when the new girl arrives at the school, and one of them is like, I'll give you a tour. It's like, what happens in every American high school? You have to go on a tour where you very clearly delineate what the different groups are. So those are the jocks, those are the things, those are the Instagram witches, all that kind of. And so the film knows exactly what it's doing, and it has fun with that. And one of my favorite lines in this film is where one of the person goes, he goes, okay, you're gonna have to infiltrate these people. You know what we have to do? And the other one is like, oh no, please don't say a makeover. And the other one goes, we're gonna have to do a makeover. And she's like, oh, that's so problematic. And the other one goes, yes, I know, but it's so much fun. and for me, that just so like encompasses the sense of humor this whole film has. It knows it's a teen movie. It knows that there's tropes that you expect in a teen movie, and it leans into some of those tropes. But it isn't saccharine. It isn't kind of like, by the numbers. It has a couple of twists in there. Some of the twists I don't think actually make sense. I think they're just there because it's trying very hard not to be your typical teen movie. And so it puts a twist in there that you wouldn't expect in your typical teen movie, but it kind of changes it by the end of the film. But I thought it was really good fun. It was easy to watch. And I think it's, even if you don't like teen movies, I think that there's stuff that happens in this film because it's quite close to the knuckle. It's quite close to the knuckle, like, things, whether it's not as gratuitous as say something like, that was that show that Zendaya's in, I can't remember.
Euphoria.
Yes, Euphoria. It's not like Euphoria where everybody's on drugs every 5 minutes, but it does touch on the fact that, like, teens are a lot more sexually active and a lot more, experimental with, like, substances than they used to be and all that. But I just thought that this was done really, really well. I thought it was quite cleverly scripted. I thought that the way it was put together, it zips along, and it's just a lot of fun. So I would actually give Do Revenge a 4 out of 5.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah. I would give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, even if you do not like teen movies, it is not necessarily that. I mean, the fact that it has that whole strangers on a train sort of conceit to it shows that they know a bit what they're doing in this film. They have a little bit more sort of like cinematic ideas to it, as opposed to, oh, I haven't got a boyfriend, so I'm sad. So it definitely isn't whatever that film is that you watched that you hated after. It definitely is
After.
not. Yeah, it is definitely not after. This is
I just
this.
drama. There's about 4 of those films now. There's so many
I
after
know,
films.
I know. No, this is a teen movie of a different caliber. I would really recommend it. I would say go watch Do Revenge. And now we go